They fought and some died for their homeland. They fought and some died, now it's our land. Look at his little child, there's no fear in her eyes. Could he not show respect for other dads who have died? Take 2 minutes, would you mind? It's a pittance of time for the boys and the girls who went over. In peace may they rest, may we never forget why they died. It's a pittance.
So, hey everyone, this is Simple Monkey, and this is not going to be like my other vlogs. From the poppy I am wearing, and obviously today being November the 11th, I'm talking about Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day is a holiday that's not, I guess, mentioned by stores because they can't sell products for it except for flower shops. Remembrance Day is a very important thing, and it's to remember the veterans and the men and the women who risked their lives and lost their lives in the wars to make the freedoms that we have today. And I want to honor them today. As a cadet and growing up in Canada, everyone was told about freedom. But we weren't told really when we were growing up of the horrors and the horrible things that had happened. And as we got older, we found out of the horrible things in the war and everything that happened to these people, and they risked their lives for my freedom and for everyone's freedom. And I believe that they should be honored, and lest we forget. Because we shouldn't forget, and I don't want to be around when someone actually does not know what Remembrance Day is and why we remember. And yeah, I want to read from the poem in Flanders Fields. A lot of you guys would know it. As I was growing up, I kind of memorized it. I don't remember it so well anymore. But yeah. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up your quarry with the foe, to you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow, in Flanders Fields. In May 2nd, 1915. And here's a little description on it. On May 2nd, 1915, John McCrae's close friend and former student Alexis Heimer was killed in the German shell. That evening, in the absence of complaint, John McCrae recited from memory a few passages from the Church of England, the order of the burial of the dead. For security reasons, Heimer buried in Essex Farm Cemetery was performed in complete darkness. The next day, May 3rd, 1915, Sergeant Major Cryle Allison was delivering mail. John was sitting at the back of the ambulance parked near the dressing station beside Euston Canal, just a few hundred yards from UP, Belgium. As John was writing in Flanders Field poem, Allison silently watched and later recalled. His face was very tired, but calm as he wrote. He looked around at the time, his eyes straying to Heimer's grave. Within moments, John had completed in Flanders Field poems, and when he was done, without a word, John took his mail and handed the poem to Alston. Alston was deeply moved. The Flanders Fields poem was an exact description of the scene in front of us. He used the words blow in the line because the poppies actually were being blown that morning by a gentle east wind. It never occurred to me at the time that that would be published. It just seemed to be the exact description of the scene. Yeah. Obviously, this vlog is very serious and stuff, and I personally, I don't know anyone that's served in the war. My uncle was in army and stuff like that. Like, not army cadets, but he was in the army, the Canadian Forces. And he retired now, so I don't have to worry so much about him. But for any of you with family or grandmas or grandpas that served in the war and were veterans, make sure you tell them thank you today, and make sure that you honor them for their, not the responsibility, but for their sacrifice, knowing that they could have been killed, and they went out and risked their lives for your safety. And make sure that you do thank them. And if any of you see a veteran, make sure you thank them for their service and for their time that they risked their life and everything for, and for making our country the way it is now, free. I'm gonna play last post, and then that'll be the end of it. Thanks guys for watching, and lest we forget.